really great to have you here, and thanks for coming on. Rudy, we're less than 30 days out. There's a lot going on. Obviously, this is such an important election. I couldn't agree with you more. I've got people over here in Europe telling me that what America does is going to have consequences all over the world.
Yeah,
and
of
they're very worried that if it doesn't go the right way, that Europe's going to pay for it. What's that famous phrase? When America sneezes, Europe gets a cold. And it feels like the same thing, except this time it's everything. Tell me, where is the State of the Union right now, in your opinion? How are we doing? And what are the major obstacles you foresee in the next 4 weeks?
The major obstacles are getting the people out to vote. If you look at our country, take an objective look at the polls, right? Right now, I would say an objective look at the polls, and I look at them for my show every week. I do a wrap-up every Friday on the electoral vote. So people should know in Europe that we do not elect by popular vote. Each state elects electors. It's apportioned to the size of the state's delegation in Congress. And then those electors are bound to vote for the person the state chose. Right now, Trump has what I would call, the biggest lead he's ever had at this stage. He's always been behind, even when he won. But it isn't sure, without any doubt. And our elections are notoriously unpredictable. So right now, I would say, if you had the election, Trump would win. We're not having it right now. We're having it almost a month from now. I would say the chances are, I'd rather be Trump than Harris. But Harris could still win. It would be a disaster for America. She'd be a weaker president than Biden, if that's possible. Because Biden was corrupt thoroughly and demented. I mean, from the very beginning, he didn't know largely a lot about anything. Even before he ran, I had a podcast 2 months before the election with two doctors who said, one said he was in the early stages of dementia. The other said he wouldn't make it through the presidency. He turned out to be right. I mean, he really didn't make it through the presidency. When they took him out as the Democratic candidate, really under our 25th Amendment, they should have taken him out as president because he doesn't know what he's doing. That has weakened us tremendously. From Afghanistan on, from his pullout from Afghanistan, a lot of people don't remember he gave up an air base 400 miles from China, completely for no reason. I mean, there's no one can come up with a reason why. I believe it's connected to the 20 to 30 million he got from China. But in any event, that air base someday could be of critical importance to us not having it. I can't think of anything where we haven't gotten weaker. Our economy has gotten weaker, even though there are some things, since it's such a strong economy, that are good about it. The main thing, the price of food is 60, 70% higher than when Trump was in office. The invasion of the United States is something I don't know if Europeans can really feel, but we've had somewhere around 15 million people come in. Most of them, we don't know who they are. I literally don't know who they are. We never interviewed them, never saw them. They just came in those big intervals between border crossings, across a border that's 1,000+ miles long. And he gave up on the first day. He changed all of Trump's security measures for the border. And he told people, invited them in, basically said, surge to the border. So now we have an altogether new organized crime group in America we never had before, Trendaragua, which comes from Venezuela. Maduro, who was a communist dictator, has done what Castro did several generations ago. He's unloaded his prisons on the United States. He's taken his prisoners out of prison. He's taken his insane out of the insane. He brought them to the United States. So we have a illegal alien crime surge. All of this is on purpose. Biden doesn't know why he's doing it. Harris probably has a glimmer. Obama knows for sure. They're trying to make us into a one world country. They want to destroy, when I say they want to destroy America, I mean America as we know it. Right. America as a constitutional republic with rights like free speech, fair trial for everyone, including Republicans who don't get a fair trial. A living standard that we have gotten used to, which is sort of based on a capitalist economy with a fail-safe for poor people. We've reversed it now. We're a country of a fail-safe with a tiny capitalist economy. And we're getting ruined. Trump will reverse all that, because just 4 years ago, let's say right before the pandemic, it was our strongest economy in 50 years. I would almost compare Trump, not even so much to Ronald Reagan, who's my hero. I work for him. I compare him, believe it or not, to John Kennedy, in the sense that John Kennedy, remember, was very anti-communist. He believed in it. He was a social moderate. Today, to be a social liberal is to want to have a completely dependent economy. He was a social moderate, but he was a hawk in terms of the enemies of the United States. I mean, we almost went to nuclear war with Russia. He backed them down. Now, we back down before there's even a threat. We basically invited Ukraine. Putin has invaded 3 times in the last 15 years or so. Once under Bush, a bad one under Obama, and a really bad one under Biden. Notice who's missing.
Right.
In the middle of all that, Trump, Putin didn't go anywhere under Trump.
Right.
Xi Jinping did not threaten Taiwan under Trump. The fat guy in North Korea used to walk around like he was his stepson, and did what he wanted. The main reason is, and here's where he's similar to Reagan, they feared him.
Right.
The craziness of the left saying that he's insane and he's this and he's that. These people buy a little of that, and they say, maybe out of ego, he'll bomb us. I'm not going to take a chance. Putin is a very careful guy. He's evil. He's monstrous. You can say anything you want about it. He's a killer. I've met him, evaluated him immediately as a stone cold killer. Smart as hell, and believe it or not, very careful. He didn't go into Afghanistan until he tested Biden for about a month and a half about whether Biden would use troops. And Biden must have said no boots on the ground 30 times. After the 30th time, and watching his cowardly behavior in Afghanistan and getting Americans killed there, and Afghanis who helped America, they're being killed there, turning over about $80 billion worth of weapons to the Taliban. He said to himself, this guy is a patsy. This will be easier than Obama or Bush. So let me just go in there and he'll make nice with Ukraine. He won't give them enough to win. And I think he probably thought he would do better than he did. But he got what he wanted. He got his pathway, his road to Crimea. That's really what he wanted. That was his basic goal. And now they're fighting a war for no reason. They're not going to win. Biden won't allow them to win. He won't allow them to use the sophisticated weapons we've given them, and some we're holding back, to bomb Russia. It's the only way to win. It could also start a nuclear war. Right?
Yeah.
So maybe he's right for the wrong reason. But then you don't lock them into what do you do? You're locking them into an endless war. And as an expert on Ukraine, which I am, from having not only investigated it as Trump's lawyer, and shown that what they said was going on in Russia was going on in Ukraine, the collusion in Ukraine and the corruption in Ukraine. Ukraine is a thoroughly corrupt government, not people, government. Zelensky's part of that corruption. Zelensky was made by the biggest money launderer in Ukraine. Kolomoisky ran Privat Bank. Privat Bank was a bigger money launderer than anything they have in Russia. Even Russians would use him. He was so good. He has all the offshore bank accounts of everybody you'd want to put in prison, including the Bidens. He made Zelensky a multimillionaire. Zelensky's done nothing about the oligarch corruption in Ukraine, nothing. And we're sending all this money to him, and you are too in Europe. You have any idea what he's doing with it? I mean, there's no way in the world I'd send him a penny without the best accounting firm in the world giving me an accounting up. And guys who had been SEALs. I have no doubt they're stealing some of the money. I don't say all. Believe it or not, a lot of the crooked organized crime oligarchs I dealt with in Ukraine were patriotic. On the one hand, they go fight for the country. On the other hand, they take half the money, figuring they were entitled to it. And so I see in Ukraine an endless war, which sometimes we do for the purpose of the crooked politicians making money, essentially what Arafat did with Clinton. And then when Clinton gave him everything, he said, no, I want the war to continue. Because Mrs. Arafat wouldn't be sitting in the south of France, one of the richest women in the world, if that weren't the case. So we got to change this administration. We know what we're going to get with Trump. I mean, we're going to get some tweets we don't like. We're going to have prosperity. We're going to have a country that people are afraid of and fear in the right way. We're going to have a country whose allies can counter us, whereas we're double-crossing Israel left and right. And they're one of our best friends, like the UK is. There's no doubt we double-cross any of you with the Biden administration in favor of a Klaus Schwab one-world government. So this is the most important election we've ever had because it determines whether we turn over to our children the America that was turned over to us. Right now, we turn over an America that can truly be described as a socialist country.
How do you get out of a rat race? How do you create wealth not only for yourself, but also for the generations to come after?
I am absolutely amazed with the quality of companies that we're getting exposure to.
We go on to Zoom calls with the innovators and the folks who are building new applications in metaverse, blockchain, artificial intelligence, decentralized finance.
What's going on, everybody? Thumbs up if you can see me.
We are focusing on early stage investment.
And the quality of people that we're getting exposure to, whether it be Dan Tapiero with 1RT, Jason Ma from Open, Yatsu from Animoca.
It's been a phenomenal experience thus far. It has far exceeded my expectations.
We are focusing on cutting edge technologies.
I view it now as the best investment I've ever made. The upside I view is unlimited.
And as a retail investor, I would never get this exposure anywhere else outside of Investment Club.
See you in the Investment Club.